Oh, boy, friends. Well, I see it's forest fire season, and that's a good time to be careful with all your outdoor burning. It can Things can get ugly fast if you let a fire get out of control. And oh, long ago, and I do mean long ago. Oh gosh, ooh, I had to be about 30, so I guess like 50 years ago. I lived up in north central Pennsylvania with my first wife, Molly, and the kids, and in a beautiful area called Sullivan County. Consult your maps. Beautiful area. North, somewhat northeast of Williamsport by about 40 miles or so. And well, there was a fire company. I was in it. And I also, I guess one day I didn't show up at the meeting, uh, and so they elected me the forest fire warden for the town. Yeah, uh, everyone else said no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. All that stuff, and well, I again, it was my punishment for not getting to the meeting. All of a sudden, I'm the forest fire warden. Eh, They gave me a book. I'm looking at the book. I said, yeah, okay. And most of the guys on the fire department were at one time or another forest fire wardens too. It's just now it was my turn. And well, one day, I don't know, it was sometime I think in spring, maybe fall, there was a call. Someone noticed that one of the mountains surrounding town had smoke coming out its one of its sides, or there was smoke up on the mountain, and we of course we muster and get out down to the site, and we could see it was somewhat it was way too steep to climb. I mean, it was steep, and so we decided, okay, there's roads up on top of the mountain. We'll go around. We'll get to and there's a way we can get at least somewhat close to the fire site. And that's what we did. We we had hoses and those water cans you use. You put them on your back and yeah, they're like for bug spray, only it's water for right for a fire. Wasn't that awful big a fire. So we got these packs on and we're walking along the flat. We come to the edge of the mountain and there's the fire down below. And again, the road's below us. And so we just marched down over the hill, and with the again with the I know there's a name for them. I can't think of it right now, but with the water pack on us, and we're squirting at the fire. And luckily, it wasn't that big. It was gaining some strength, but we seemed to have gotten it. And we go climbing up the back up the hill onto onto the flat area on the mountain. And there's the county forest fire ranger waiting for us. And he looks at us and says, well, how'd you guys do? We said, well, we think we got it out okay. We wetted it down pretty good. There's rain coming tonight. We're here and should be okay. He says, good. But he says, listen, you guys dodged a bullet just then. We said, well, what do you mean? And he says, okay. He says, what direction was that fire going? Well, it was going up the hill. Okay. Where were you? Well, we were above the fire. Uh-oh. He says, yes. He says, you guys lucked out. The woods wasn't that dry. You had a fire, but you got it out. What if that was a real dry fire and you went down maybe say maybe the fire was a little lower and you went down, okay, on the hill with those packs, which by the way do have a nasty habit of running out of water after a while, right? Yeah, ours are all pretty much empty. Says, okay, what if that fire had a bit of a breeze and hit drier fuel, leaves, the sticks, all that. How are you going to, do you think you could outrun that fire? Well, the basic answer was, well, we could sure as heck try. He says, yes, but do you think you'd make it? Going up that hill, fire nipping at your heels, maybe overcoming one or two of you? What are you going to do? You're going to try to get the guy that can't quite get up the hill. You're going to be lugging him, fire right on your tail. We said, yeah, you're right. He says, next time, he says, let's hope there isn't, but if there's ever a next time, you set up your line of defense and you wait for that fire to come up to the hill. When it starts cresting the hill, that's when you hit it, because it won't have quite the momentum like it did on the edge. He says, you've got to promise me you'll do that. Always look for your safe spot and fight from there. Fight the fire from there. Gosh, scratched our heads. He says, I admire your bravery. You got the fire out. And you, South, come with me. We got to make just a little bit of a diagram of the fire. I got to make it up for my report. And also I want to make sure there's no, bring one of the backpacks on. He already had one. He says, and we'll go down any hot spots, we'll get them, because they have a nasty way of flaring up. Okay? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He says, don't take it so hard. He says, I got chewed out for that very same thing many years ago, so don't worry about it. But do keep that in mind. Always be looking for how you get out of the scene. You don't want to be all of a sudden engulfed in flames. You won't like it. I said, yeah, I don't imagine I would. No. So we all went, I guess we all got back in the truck and went back with our tails between our legs. But yeah, the fire was out. It wasn't really, actually the warden said, this particular stretch of woods, if some of it burned out, it wouldn't be a bad thing anyway. He says, it's nothing but poison ivy up here. I said, poison ivy? Yeah. He said, I hope you didn't get any smoke on you. I think I did. It turns out I didn't get the poison ivy from that. I just didn't get enough of a dose. One or two of us was scratching a few days later, but that's about it. Anyway, I'll see you later. Just when you see these forest fires, I would say leave it to the professionals or the volunteers. And you definitely want to be careful. Pay attention to your warden, and maybe read a book or two on the subject if you're one of those on the squad. Okay? Catch you later. God bless, and bye now.